My name is Jim Baker. I'm running in the 9th District of Indiana for Congress. I'm not a politician. I've never run for office before. I'm a 6th generation Southern Indiana native. Grew up in New Albany, graduated from New Albany High School. After high school, went to the University of Louisville, and then for a few years I taught at Jeffersonville High School. But sometime after that, I got into real estate, and I think most people know my name from real estate. Been doing that for over 40 years, and I believe I know Southern Indiana better than any of the candidates that are running. I have driven this district from north, south, east, and west. I've done work with people throughout the district, and that has been happening for over 40 years. Every day when I wake up, I work in economic development. I bring buyers, tenants, landlords, sellers together with property deals and problems. I'm a problem solver. But why am I running? I'll tell you why I'm running. I'm just tired of what's going on in Washington. I'm fed up with the things that are happening there, and I believe I can do something about it. I spent $20,000 on a survey that shows that I can win this race, and I'm going to win it. That's my plan. So what are the things that I'm passionate about? Well, I don't like illegal immigration. I don't like the way that we have an open border. Yeah, we need workers. It's not the people who are coming here. It's not their fault. We need those people to come. We just need to vet them. The process is broken. Also, I don't like inflation. It takes from the people that are on fixed incomes. It's not right. It's unfair. Joe Biden has done nothing to help us with that. We were energy independent prior to Joe Biden, and he decided to shut down the oil and gas industry. And what do we have now? Over $4 a gallon gasoline. We got problems in Ukraine. We had a miserable exit from Afghanistan. Well, I'll tell you what, if I go to Washington, which I plan on doing, I'm going to represent you. You, the people of the 9th District. It's not about me, it's about you. I'm your representative. I want to hear from you. I believe I have 2 ears and 1 mouth, and I want to listen twice as much as I speak. I like this quote. There's a comedian, you probably know her. Her name is Lily Tomlin. And Lily said this: I used to think somebody ought to do something about that. But then one day I realized I'm that somebody. And I realized that too. The motto of my campaign is this: united we stand, divided we fall. In the book of Mark, 3rd chapter, Jesus said, a house divided against itself cannot stand. Well, we need to unite the people of this district. We need to unite the people of the Republican Party, and we need to unite this nation together for the benefit of our country, of this district. Also, I want to say that I am a former public school teacher, as I just said, and I am for better schools. I want to support teachers, but most of all, what comes first are the students. I'm a dad, 6 kids. We have a blended family, my wife Kim and I, and we have 17 grandkids. I love children. I think we should put them first when we're making our decisions, not only about schools, but the future of our country. My name is Jim Baker. I'm running for Congress, and I approve this message. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Eric Schonsberg, running for U.S. Congress in the Republican primary in May. Probably the most important thing to know about me is I'm an economics professor. I've been at IU Southeast for almost 30 years now. I've thought, written, taught on public policy for a long time, and it's really important to me. And as I like to joke, it's kind of sad, but maybe we could use a little more econ in D.C. these days. I've been married to my wife Tanya for 26 years. We have 4 young men. We like to say we're trying to raise a few good men, but they're 17 to 23 now, so we've moved more into the coaching phase of those things. We have 2 by adoption and 2 the more conventional way. I also serve on the board of Brandon's House, been there about 25 years. Right across the street from the high school, we provide free master's level counseling for teens and their families, and so it's a really important thing all the time, but especially the last few years with COVID and all the other trouble we've had the last few years. terms of the race, the biggest issues, again, are economics. We have debt, we have inflation, we have a range of other things that don't get nearly as much attention, but I just think it's important to have someone who knows a lot about economics in D.C., not just to be a vote, but to be a voice on these things, to be persuasive and compelling among the legislators in talking through these issues. I'm also strong in the Constitution. As a Republican, going to be strong in the Second Amendment. I also emphasize the First Amendment, which has taken a beating the last few years, freedom of speech. The last decade or so with cancel culture, we've got to push back against that. Freedom of religion during COVID. So the First Amendment is really important. And then the 10th Amendment, which is about federalism and the levels of government that are involved. People have lots of good ideas. They have some decent ideas about government many times, but they shouldn't be federal government ideas. They should be at the state or local level. A couple of examples here, kids have had to wear masks on school buses during COVID, but that's not a local decision. That's a federal government decision. The federal government shouldn't be making that decision. In terms of election law, the federal government shouldn't be telling Indiana how to run election law. So I will never get tired of saying, hey, that may be a great idea, but it's not the role of the federal government to do those things. I think the last thing is just to be a compelling and civil voice in D.C. There's been a ton of rhetoric, a ton of people pursuing power for its own purposes instead of good policy, a lot of shouting at each other. And we've got to do better in terms of dialogue. And so I'm passionate about these issues, but it's important to be knowledgeable, compelling, and civil in our dialogue, and I hope to bring that to DC as well. So I appreciate your time watching this. I'd be thankful for your support and your consideration. The website is ericforcongress.org, and I'd be thankful for your support.
Hi, I'm Mike Sodrell. I'm a Republican candidate for the 9th District Congressional seat for the U.S. House of Representatives. I'll never forget my first radio interview. It was a shock jock over in Louisville, and they said they had no idea what he was going to say. And I sat down, and he said, I'm sitting there with Mike Sodrell. He said, candidate for the 9th District Congressional race. He said, Mike, everybody that runs for political office is egotistical and narcissistic. What do you say to that? And I said, well, gee, John, I said, I'd be happy to do this job anonymously. I just don't know how to get elected that way. Do you have any ideas? It's just talking about myself is one of the things that I least like to do in life, but it's a necessary evil in politics. I'm a graduate of New Albany High School. I spent the majority of my adult life here in Floyd and Clark County, either in Jeffersonville, Clarksville, or New Albany. People will ask why you're running. Well, I expect every Republican candidate to say that they're pro-life, that they're pro-Second Amendment, in fact, pro-First Amendment. I expect them to say they're for the God-given right of free speech, of peaceful assembly, of the right to practice your faith as you see fit. In fact, 4 of us will say that we're veterans. We took an oath to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. What I don't think any of them can say is that they have employed hundreds of their fellow citizens for decades. What I don't expect to hear them say is they pledged their home, their car, and all their worldly possessions for a loan to that company that provided employment for hundreds of their fellow citizens. You go to bed every night as a small business person knowing that if you fail, you don't just lose your company, you lose your home, your car, and your chattel, everything that you own. In fact, a friend of mine who was also a graduate of New Albany High School lost his company and his home and his car and everything he owned and his marriage. So it's a lot of pressure. You look at what's going on in America today, we have an open border. Nobody's against immigration. We're a nation of immigrants. We're a melting pot, as we're often characterized. But we want to know who you are, where you're coming from, and what you're bringing with you. We're not for human trafficking. We're not for drug trafficking. We're not for gangs running across the border indiscriminately. we are opposed to defund the police. Really bad idea. And it's not only defund the police, but in many cases, there's no prosecution for the criminal. I guess that's why they call it the criminal justice system instead of the victim's justice system. And if you look at the inflation rate, nothing's really changed since Adam Smith, he's sometimes characterized as the first economist, came up with supply and demand. When you cancel the XL pipeline and you restrict drilling in the United States and oil production in this country, when you allow the Russians to build a pipeline and you cancel our pipeline, you restrict the supply, the demand remains the same or goes up, the price goes with it. We're looking at $120 a barrel. Some people say it might hit $200 a barrel. It's not just gas at the pump. The same crude oil fuels our airplanes, our locomotives, our barges, our trucks, buses, basically all of our transportation, which drives up the cost of your food, your clothes, and everything else that you buy in life. So I'm running for Congress to try to help get a handle on all these issues. Thank you for your attention.
I'm Brian Tibbs, candidate for United States Representative. I'm running for Congress because I believe America is worth fighting for, and I want to stand up for American values on the issues of censorship, cancel culture, and the great heritage that we have as Americans. I live with my wife, Maria, and my 4 school-age children, Christian, Abigail, Brooklyn, and Elizabeth, on our family farm in Marysville. I was a school teacher for 7 years and a pastor for 22 years. So if you ask, Brian Tibbs, why are you running for Congress? Well, first of all, I'm running because I'm very concerned about the censorship that has come into our country via big tech. America is about freedom of speech. If you have your idea, you should be able to say it. If I have my idea, I should be able to say my idea. The big tech censorship that deplatforms you, bans you from social media, bans you from Twitter, if you say things that are not what the government wants you to say, or are not the commonly accepted ideas. That's not what America is about. There's all kinds of people who have ideas I disagree with. They think the earth is flat or that we didn't go to the moon, but I don't want them banned. I don't want their right to speak silenced. America is about free speech. And so America is worth fighting for, whether we agree or disagree on what people say. I also am for stopping cancel culture. No one should be afraid that someone's going to pull up a 20-year-old social media post and get them fired from their job. There was a time in America where we realized we can work at jobs with people that we may disagree with. For example, I'm a Christian, but if I'm working with an atheist, I don't have to affirm his beliefs. He doesn't have to affirm mine, but I don't want him fired, and he shouldn't want me fired, because America is about working with people that you disagree with, because we believe in America, in the right to your opinion. That's an American value that I will fight for, because America is worth fighting for. And then I'm for standing up for the heritage that we have as Americans. So many people today want to say that America was a nation that was just founded for slavery and racist reasons, but that's not true at all. America from the very beginning has been a beacon of freedom. Someone once said, the last best hope for free people on earth. People have come to America from all over the world for freedom. And although we've had some bad characters in our history and we've made some mistakes, the vast majority of people who have come to America have come for freedom. America has been a shining city on a hill whose troops have died in Europe and Southeast Asia and in the Pacific to liberate the world from Nazism and communism and authoritarianism and terrorism. And the sacrifice of those who died is something that we need to stand up for, because America has been a force for good in this world. And so, if you send me to Congress, I'm going to Congress because America is worth fighting for. I will stand up for free speech over censorship, for the right to your opinion over cancel culture, and for the great heritage that those who gave their lives for our country have bequeathed to us. I'm Brian Tibbs. I would appreciate your vote in the Republican primary on May 3.
Hello, New Albany, Floyd County, and 9th District voters. My name is Matt Fife, and I'm running for the U.S. House of Representatives here in Indiana's 9th District. I am a public high school teacher, I'm a father of 3 little ones, and I'm a leader in my labor union. And I'm running for the United States House of Representatives because it just feels too polarized nowadays. I grew up in Indiana, in a small town, and we used to vote Democrat, we used to vote Republican, and nowadays it just doesn't feel like that. And it feels like a lot of the policies that are being created aren't helping our neighborhoods, aren't helping our communities in the same way that it used to be. And again, those 3 kind of values about myself: labor leader, father of 3, and public high school teacher. They lead into a lot of the issues that I care about. Community issues, issues that affect our neighborhoods. So as a leader in my labor union, I have fought for good wages, good benefits, good retirement, a dignified retirement here for workers in the 9th District. As a father of 3, I've had to navigate the challenges of raising a family, a healthy family, and working at the same time. I know that we need policies that help do that. And finally, as a public high school teacher, I know that here in Indiana, our public schools can be improved. We need more funding for our public schools. We need to value our teachers in a bigger way. And those are things that I'm excited about doing as your next representative here in the 9th. This is an open house seat, and I highly encourage you to do your research and get involved in this race. We can make a difference here in the near future, and you can go to mattfife.com to learn more about this race and get involved and donate. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Nicholas Marshall, and I'm running for Indiana State Senate for District 45. That is including all of Clerk as well as New Albany for the district. It is a new drawing district, but what I want to tell you is the reason why I'm running. The reason why I'm running is because since I was an infant, I was in foster care. But if it wasn't 2 wonderful sets of foster parents, I wouldn't be the person I am. It was a teacher that taught me gentleness and kindness, and a farmer that put a shovel in my hand that taught me how to work on a farm of 40 acres. And it was a military veteran who taught me what true respect for our country is and how to earn it, as well as a caregiver who took that title to heart. You enter to care, you have to also give to take care of people. The reason why, once again, I'm running, because I ran into a lot of red tape when I was doing my nonprofit work over in Louisville. I understand what it's like to be in the system and what those kids are having. And I remember one day that my little brother looked at me and he told me, he said, and it gives me chills to this day, he said, "Nick, I need you to do something. I need you to do something, Nick. We can't do anything," as he pointed to my sister and himself, because they have felonies on their records. But you can. You were the one that made it out. You're successful graduating from a college. You can do something. I need you to do something. And that's what really truly sparked me to push me to run and for this race. And that's what I want to be, as a champion for those kids who are in the foster care system. I want to make sure every available resources can get to those kids. Also, I want to make sure that people who are working 2 or 3 jobs can get a decent job here and don't have to do that. I saw my foster parents and also my mother do that as well. And they want to provide every single thing they could for their kids. I also want to fight for women, getting every available resources to women as they can as well. We know in the matter of months that if Roe versus Wade is overturned, we have to have every available resource for a woman to make sure that that child is healthy as well as she is healthy as well. And those are the things that I'm fighting for. A little bit more insight and story about me. I used to be the University of Louisville Cardinal Bird, and I got to cheer on my Cards across the river. And unfortunately, they're not in the tournament right now, but we will be cheering on the women at this time. But I just want you to know that I do not have a primary opposition at this time for the Democratic Party, but I want you to get ready to vote here in May, as well as save that energy and also change your mind about if you can vote across the aisle for a person that really wants to make change when it comes to November. So when you look at that ballot, I want you to understand that who you want fighting for you, because we have to change the status quo of what's going on up at the State House, because we want every representation felt at every level. So if you want to reach out to me, you can reach out to me for Hoosiers for nickmarshall.com or Hoosiers for nicholasmarshall@gmail.com. If you want to donate, feel free to. But this campaign will always be about serving the community. And one of those great times is able to donate to a food pantry over in Utica. And I'm going to do that today too. I do it every Thursday. And it's nothing more encouraging than see someone yell out their card just saying thank you and bless you for just trying to help. And then the workers that are there, they check in on my family. And I'm a newly father of two now, with a new baby girl named Miss Evelyn. And if you're listening, Daddy loves you, as well as Sebastian loves you, and I love my wife. But they ask every day about how my family's doing when I go see them. And the women won't let me leave without giving them a hug. The gentlemen won't let me leave without shaking their hands. And that's what true community is about. We have to take care of each other, and we have to look out for each other. Like I said, this campaign will always be about serving people, win or lose. If I win, I get to help a lot more people. So I invite you to help me help more other people that are in the situation that you are in, or could be in a worse situation that you're in. So please go to Hoosiers for nickmarshall.com if you would like to donate. Reach out to me at Hoosiers for nicholasmarshall@gmail.com, and I look forward to talking and engaging with the community. And I'll see you in May, and I'll see you in November.
Hi, I'm Kevin Bainline. I'm your state senator, and I'm running for Senate District 47. Just want to spend some time with you today, kind of giving you a feel for who I am and maybe who you'd be voting for this election cycle. There's a couple of resources, and you'll find those on the screen today, but one is my website. You can go and find me at kevinforstatesenate.com. That's kevinforstatesenate.com. And on there you'll find my biographical information. You'll find some information about how you might get involved in our campaign if you'd like to. You can also visit our Facebook page at Kevin Bainline for State Senate. On that page you'll find some other information, maybe some information about things that I support and things I believe in. So I'll share that with you. And I would encourage you to go there. But I want to spend some time today sharing with you one person who's been hugely consequential to me and has a direct impact here at New Albany High School, and that's my mother-in-law, Beth Wells. Beth Wells was a teacher here at New Albany High School. She taught PE and health, and during her time here she was a swim coach. Of course, she had a lot of impact here at the school over a number of years. I'm finding out after she's passed away. She passed away a number of years ago. But the thing she's had the most impact on me is just as a person and what she's provided for me and my family. Beth was not always the loudest person in the room, and I learned from her that you don't have to be the loudest person in the room to be the most consequential person in the room. And I think she led by example in that way. She also taught me that faith is most important, but family is a close second. And she certainly lived that out in her life. Of course, she introduced me to a New Albany High School graduate, my father-in-law, Kent Wells. Kent's taught me a couple things. One, that our faith life is a journey, that we continue to pursue God and He continues to pursue us. But another thing that Kent's always taught me is that don't always take yourself too seriously, that it's okay to poke fun at yourself and not to be so serious about yourself. Beth had a father, Charlie Stieber. Charlie was a teacher. Charlie was an owner of a small business in Evansville, Indiana. And Charlie, during his time as an owner, certainly learned a couple of valuable lessons he passed along to me. Is that you always treat people well. If you treat people well, they'll be repeat customers. That small businesses are always kind of struggling. That lower taxes are helpful when small businesses are in existence, and that less government intervention is important. He had his wife, Ruth, who taught me a number of things. One, she's very involved in her community, and she taught me that being involved in your community is paramount and important as a role model for your family, but also in your community. And of course, the most consequential person that my mother-in-law provided for me was my wife, Kristen, who's a New Albany High School graduate. She taught at Hazelwood Middle School and then now teaches at Highland Hills Middle School. But Kristen's taught me a number of things and been an encouragement to me over my life. But the thing I love about her is that she's just a real person. She teaches that in her classroom every day. Embrace the awkward is her mantra. And that's our mantra in our family, is that we're just real and authentic people. We value that in the folks that we work with and the people that we love and the family members and friends that we have in this community. If those are things that resonate with you, hard work, lower taxes when it comes to small businesses, supporting smaller businesses, not having to be the most loud or boisterous person in a room to be the most consequential person, being authentic and real. If you have a chance to sit down and listen to this and then have a chance to visit us on our website, again at kevinforstatesenate.com, and you feel like that resonates with you, we'd ask for your support on May the 3rd, and we'd love to have your support. Thank you and have a great day.
Hello, my name is Karen Engelman. I am running for State Representative of District 70. I currently serve in that position and have since 2016. I serve as the Assistant Floor Leader, and I'd like to take this time to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm married to Gary Engelman. We have 5 children, 10 grandchildren, and 1 great-grandchild. We live on a farm near Georgetown and attend Oak Grove United Methodist Church. A lot of what state representatives do is help constituents deal with issues such as unemployment problems, Medicaid waiver problems, just any issues that they have with dealing with the state agencies or any thing that the state is involved in. We serve around over 68,000 people in our districts, and my district includes all of Harrison County. It includes the 5 southernmost townships in Washington County, Greenville Township and part of Lafayette and Floyd County, and Wood and Carr Townships in Clark County. Some of the bills I've worked on have been bills that have been brought to me by constituents. I worked on a bill to help human trafficking victims. I worked on a bill for maternal mortality. Indiana's infant mortality and maternal mortality is very bad, and we need to improve that. I worked on a minimum age to marry bill. I had a constituent that came to me that was forced to marry someone much older who treated her badly, and because she was a minor, she couldn't even go to a women's shelter for help. We did a bill that took care of a lot of those problems. I did a bill to help a constituent that purchased a handicap accessible vehicle, and it was a lemon, and they had no recourse to fix it. So this bill will help people in the future that have that problem. Some of the bills that I co-authored were, I co-authored a bill that helped the governor end the state of emergency, and I co-authored a bill that will give Indiana residents a tax break because we are doing very well at this point, and it will help our constituents during a time that we all need a tax break. A lot of the bills that we did were conservative, which I feel I'm a conservative. I am pro-life, pro-gun, and I will continue to strive for a balanced budget. I would appreciate your vote. Thank you so much.
My name is Ed Clear, and I am proud to represent House District 72 in the Indiana General Assembly. Thank you for allowing me the honor and privilege of serving as your voice in Indianapolis. I am running for re-election, and I am asking for your vote in the Republican primary on May 3rd. so that I may continue to be a strong, independent representative of our community and a leader on difficult issues. I am proud to be running on a record of accomplishment based on protecting and promoting limited government, life, and liberty. Since I was first elected, I have been fighting to keep money in Hoosier wallets. A few highlights. Taxpayers have saved $8.7 billion since 2009 as a result of property tax caps. Hoosiers save $150 million every year because of the elimination of the inheritance tax. Taxpayers received $905 million in automatic taxpayer refunds between 2013 and 2021, with more on the way. And Hoosier taxpayers will have saved $1.7 billion through 2021 because of individual tax cuts, again, with more to come. In this year's legislative session, we continued cutting taxes, delivering the largest tax cut in Hoosier history. We did another cut to the individual income tax rate and repealed certain utility taxes, which will reduce Hoosier utility bills by more than $200 million a year. We also expanded Indiana's 529 college savings account program by increasing the maximum tax credit for contributions from $1,000 to $1,500, helping incentivize parents to save more for their child's educational needs. And I was proud to co-author legislation on the ABLE tax credit, which is a new tax credit. ABLE accounts are sister accounts to college 529 accounts. ABLE accounts allow for individuals with disabilities to save for their future and pay for disability-related expenses. I know one issue that is on the minds of many is election security and election integrity, and we passed legislation this year to continue to increase voter confidence in the democratic process and ensure that the principle of one person, one vote is upheld in Indiana. Among other provisions, we moved up the requirement that electronic voting machines be equipped with paper audit trail capability. Another topic of interest, I know it's come up a lot in the last year or so, is open meetings. We passed legislation promoting government transparency and ensuring public participation in school board meetings by requiring that school boards allow each member of the public who is physically present at a school board meeting to testify at the school board meeting. I authored legislation on a number of topics, and I'll mention a couple. One bill that I worked on that passed supports Governor Holcomb's initiative to reduce infant mortality in Indiana and make Indiana's infant mortality the lowest in the Midwest by 2024. The legislation standardizes the investigation of sudden unexplained infant deaths, and by understanding more about why these tragic deaths are occurring, we can prevent future deaths. So I was very proud to be able to work with Governor Holcomb on this important initiative to save babies in the Hoosier State, and I appreciate his leadership on this issue, and look forward to preventing deaths in the future. Workforce provisions, we passed number of policies around workforce. One thing that I worked on involved pharmacies. If you've been at a pharmacy lately, you've probably been in a long line, and my legislation will allow pharmacy technicians to do more, which will free up pharmacists to do things that only a pharmacist can do. Those are just a couple of examples of the legislation that I worked on this year. I am always welcome ideas from constituents, ideas for legislation or anything else. If you have a question or would like to discuss an issue or an idea, or need help dealing with state government, feel free to call or email me. My cell phone number is 812-987-4333. Again, that's 812-987-4333. And my email address is edclear@gmail.com. That's edclere@gmail.com. Again, thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve. I would appreciate your vote on May 3rd. Together, we will continue to build a better state and a brighter future. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jackie Bright-Grubbs, and I'm running for Indiana State Representative in District 72. I've lived in Floyd County my entire life. My family attended Holy Trinity and St. Mary's Catholic churches, and I attended school there as well. As a graduate of New Albany High School and Indiana University with a Bachelor of Science degree in Business Management, I have worked in sales, management, and marketing throughout my career for small local businesses. I have many great childhood memories of growing up in New Albany. We used to walk occasionally from grade school on a Friday to the public library to work on projects without any fear of our safety because of this great community. I remember the excitement of the Harvest Homecoming Parade when my dad would march with the other veterans from the VFW and the American Legion and would remind us of the brave men and women who have served our great nation to preserve our freedom, liberty, and sovereignty. By growing up in a household where we were taught to love God and country is why I stand before you today. I am running for state representative to address some of the difficult topics that most politicians do not want to discuss. I am not a politician. I'm an average, everyday, middle-class citizen. I am running for office because I'm very concerned for my family, for you, for your children and grandchildren. Throughout the last 2 years, our civil liberties and individual rights have been trampled upon. It's most evident in the schools where the teachers and students were forced to wear masks until here just recently. The elderly and disabled who lived in nursing homes were unable to have family members visit. Their family members could not oversee the care and treatment that they were being given. This was also true for those in the hospital. Of those who were elderly and sick who died and passed away, many of them died alone and were deprived funerals to honor their memory. People were also denied getting together during the holidays. The drug abuse, suicide rates, mental illness, and alcoholism skyrocketed under these mandates of isolation. Churches and small businesses were forced to be closed while your big box stores remained open and had record sales and profits in the billions of dollars. This was an attack on the small business owners and the middle class. Benjamin Franklin once said something to the effect, "Those who would sacrifice their liberty to purchase a little bit of temporary safety deserves neither liberty nor safety." Fear is the most powerful of all emotions. We must remain the land of the free and the home of the brave. As a constitutional conservative, I believe in the big citizen and the small government. The government was formed by the citizens to provide certain services to the citizens. The citizens are not supposed to serve the government. I am a pro-life Catholic, and I believe in life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for everyone. I support academic education, but do not support curriculum that influences a student's views of the world, their moral principles, or any other tough topics on politics. As a free nation and free citizens, people should be given the right to choose their own conclusions based on their life experiences and their reasoning and discernment. In a free country, the government does not tell you what to think, and they do not tell you what you can't say. I firmly believe in the Second Amendment, and it is vital to our society, and it's necessary for the security of a free state. The election process is also a priority for me. Indiana needs to return to paper ballots to make sure that our elections are secure, and Indiana should also do a forensic audit so we can search for flaws in our system. I hope I can earn your vote. I am your freedom and liberty candidate. To find out more, please follow me on Facebook at Jackie4 Indiana or Jackie Bright Grubbs for Indiana State Representative. My website is www.jackie4Indiana. Once again, I hope I can earn your vote. God bless you all, and God bless America.
Greetings. My name is Tom Jones, and I am a Republican running to represent the 72nd State Legislative District here in Floyd County. My occupation is that of independent financial advisor. As to why I'm running for this office, and this may sound somewhat counterintuitive as a Republican, it is because of what I perceive as the Republican supermajority of the legislature's use of government as a system of power and control, rather than a search for order, to paraphrase the late British conservative scholar Roger Scruton. It just seems to me that there is a current desire to proactively legislate everything, rather than first trusting existing state institutions and our citizenry to do the right thing. The result, to me anyway, has been instances of unnecessary government intervention and/or expansion, something that used to be anathema to the Republican Party. My desire is to be a voice of common sense reason in challenging such an approach. And this is not a unique or novel condition in which to find a legislature. No less than our future 30th U.S. President Calvin Coolidge counseled the following in his 1914 inaugural speech as President of the Massachusetts State Senate. "Don't hurry to legislate," he said. "Give administration a chance to catch up with legislation." We need a broader, firmer, deeper faith in the people, a faith that men desire to do right, that the Commonwealth is founded upon a righteousness which will endure, a reconstructed faith that the final approval of the people is given not to demagogues slavishly pandering to their selfishness, merchandising with the clamor of the hour, but to statesmen ministering to their welfare, representing their deep, silent, and abiding convictions. As Mark Twain is reputed to have said, history doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. Relative to my qualifications, I've been a civic and community-minded businessman and leader in the 72nd District for over 30 years, and was largely raised and educated here as well. This range of life experience has given me, I think, unique insights and responsibilities, those of citizen, student, husband, parent, grandparent, employee, employer, volunteer, benefactor, beneficiary, that have given me occasion to interact with government in many facets at multiple levels. This allows me to have a broad understanding and appreciation of the role and impact of government, its actions and inactions. Lastly, from a qualification standpoint, I have not previously run for office, unless you count my successful elections as high school junior and senior class president. No, those probably don't count. With regard to issues I am or may be focusing on, as alluded to previously, my motivation for running is more about modeling a different approach to legislative service, one hopefully more representative of local interests and less of national ideology, versus specific policy matters. Having said that, policy is clearly important, and my personal, business, and volunteer backgrounds have influenced my belief that we all largely seek the same things: safe neighborhoods and work settings, quality educational opportunities for our children and grandchildren, available and affordable health care with the best combination of cost and outcomes. In other words, the underpinnings that set the stage for a vibrant local economy that make us want to call a place home. As a result, my primary policy interests and focus will likely be those supportive of strong systems of public safety, education, and health. Our ever-increasing workforce challenges have also been and will continue to be a top-of-mind issue. I'll close with a summary of my connections in District 72. I graduated from New Albany High School in 1983 after attending Hazelwood Junior High and Fairmont Elementary. My wife and I have continuously resided in New Albany for 32 years and raised our two now adult daughters here. I have a 34-year financial services industry career defined by roles as bank president and CEO, formerly of Community Bank in New Albany, and independent financial advisor, currently of Assured Partners. All but the first 2 of those 34 years have been in this community. I also have 34 years of civic and community leadership, highlighted by serving the Southern Indiana Economic Development Council, including as board chairman, the Floyd Memorial Hospital Foundation for 21 years and also as board chairman, the New Albany Floyd County Education Foundation continually since its planning in 2003, and the Rotary Club of New Albany, 27 years of current membership, including the last 25 years as committee chairman of the annual high school scholarship banquet. Again, all but the first 2 years of this leadership service have been here locally. I do hope this bit of insight into my candidacy will be helpful as you decide if I'm worthy or not of your support. I hope I am. Let's work together. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Justin Brown, and I'm your Republican candidate for Floyd County Circuit Court Judge. I'd like to thank WNAS for hosting this forum and giving the candidates an opportunity to speak with you, the voters. I'd like to get started by telling you a little bit about myself, my background, education, experience, and then talk about Floyd Circuit Court and why I'm running to be your next judge. Again, my name's Justin Brown, and I'm married to my beautiful wife, Molly. We live in Georgetown, Indiana with our son Oliver and our dog Zoe. We serve as licensed foster parents through the Department of Child Services and attend church at Northside Christian here in New Albany. Like many of you, I was born in southern Indiana. I was raised next door to my grandparents, where every day my family went to work at a factory in the morning and on the farm in the evening. Those years spent working the land taught me the value of hard work and family, values that are still incredibly important to me today. After high school, I enlisted in the military and graduated with honors from the United States Army Intelligence School at Fort Huachuca, Arizona. I went on to graduate with honors from both Western Kentucky University and the University of Louisville Brandeis School of Law. While in law school, I taught at Central High School, served on law review, interned for Circuit Court Judge Audra Eckerly, and obtained a limited license to practice, which I used to represent victims of domestic violence. After law school, I worked as an associate attorney for both a large civil defense firm and a small civil plaintiffs firm. During those years, I gained significant experience representing clients in both state and federal courts all across the country. I was also fortunate to have the privilege to represent many of my fellow veterans pro bono as they navigated through divorce, child custody, and support cases, as well as help out many animal shelters and rescue organizations. Afterwards, I began my career in public service with the Indiana Department of Child Services. I served as a staff attorney in both Floyd and Scott counties, where every single day I worked to keep our children safe amidst the opioid and AIDS epidemic. I continued my career in public service when I joined the Floyd County Prosecutor's Office over 5 years ago. As your 4D child support prosecutor, I assisted families by helping to recover millions of dollars in back-owed child support. As your juvenile delinquency prosecutor, I worked with both the courts and juvenile probation to improve the juvenile justice system and to address the increase in school threats we saw in 2018. And as your lead misdemeanor and major felony prosecutor, I've handled thousands of cases right here in Floyd County, ranging from traffic infractions to DUIs, up to major crimes including drug dealing, crimes against children, and murder. I've worked hard to keep this community safe and to obtain justice for victims by taking cases to trial and holding criminal offenders accountable. And how has that experience prepared me to become the next judge of Floyd Circuit Court? Well, Floyd Circuit Court is our constitutional court and a court of general jurisdiction. That means that it presides over civil, juvenile, and criminal cases, often the most serious. It's also an active trial court, and in fact, the last 2 murder trials that were conducted in Floyd County were held in Floyd Circuit Court. That diverse caseload means that it's important for the next judge to have significant first-hand experience in each of these areas of law. And not only do I have that experience, but I have the jury trial experience as well. I'm a leader and a dedicated public servant to both our country and our community. I am fair, I am impartial, and I am efficient. And if elected as your next circuit court judge, I vow to continue to uphold and defend the Constitution. I vow to continue to prioritize the safety of our community. And I vow to continue to address the drug problem that's been plaguing the families of our community by focusing on early intervention amongst our most vulnerable, our children. I'm passionate about continuing to serve, and that's why I'm humbly asking you for your vote to become your next Floyd County Circuit Court Judge. Thank you for your consideration and for watching.
My name is Dana Eberly Pay, and I'm asking for your vote for Floyd Circuit Court Judge. I know that a lot of people don't really care who their judge is in their election. They might just vote straight ticket and let that take care of it. I'm here to explain to you why you need to care. Floyd Circuit Court is a court of general jurisdiction. That means it can handle any type of case. But what's most important to me are the cases that only the circuit court can handle. Those are adoptions and guardianships and probate estates. The most important type of case in circuit court, in my book, are the Department of Child Services cases. That's what's commonly referred to by most people as CPS, or Child Protective Services. I've spent my entire career focused on family law, and I have represented the families who have had children taken away from them. I've represented families who fostered those children and were helping to protect those children. I have seen it all, and I've seen everything that the circuit court handles. And to me, it seems very important for everyone to recognize that those families need help. The foster families need help. The Department of Child Services needs help. All of these families need to be restored whenever possible. And I want to serve on the bench in Floyd Circuit Court to continue the great work that's already been done by Judge Cody. If it's even possible, I would like to work even harder than he has, but I don't know that that's possible. But it is very important to me as a family law attorney that one of your own serve on the bench in Floyd Circuit. I am a Floyd County family. I was born and raised in Floyd County. I'm a graduate of Floyd Central High School, as is my husband and my sons. I have lived in every town in Floyd County. I have only lived in Floyd County. My entire legal career has been focused on family law and every aspect of family law, but especially those aspects of family law that can only be practiced in circuit court. I want to represent your county and your families as the judge in circuit court. It would be my honor to be the first woman elected to the bench in circuit court. I feel that all of this is very important for the voters to know and to understand. You want someone on the bench in Floyd Circuit Court who is part of Floyd County, who is a Floyd County family. I also serve on the board of directors for the Center for Women and Families. And I serve on the board of directors for VACA, which stands for Vulnerable Adult Care Advocates. These are the adult guardianship cases in Floyd Circuit Court. This is my passion. This is what I have spent my entire legal career on, is protecting Floyd County families. And I want the voters to understand that when it comes to judge, party affiliation does not matter. It should not matter. Judges do not make policy from the bench. We follow the law. And you want a Floyd County family, a Floyd County person, and in this case a woman, to serve from the bench as a lawyer, as a mother, and as a Floyd County resident to follow the law and protect Floyd County families. Please help me put Floyd families first and vote for me as judge of Floyd Circuit Court.
Hi, I'm Chris Lane, and I'm your prosecutor here in Floyd County, Indiana. And I'm honored to come before you, especially through WNAS. I'm from Indiana. I'm from New Albany. Grew up here, actually, in downtown New Albany, and went to New Albany High School and graduated in 1990. Worked here in WNAS, and really those were some of my best formative years, and I love this community. Grew up loving this community, went away to college and came back and decided to raise my family here. I've been honored to be here for all these years, and I just love the way our community's grown, but I also love how we have a sense of community, how people work together, they feel safe, and they feel like they can raise their family here. And that motivates me every day as I work to protect this community, to serve this community, because ultimately I want people to feel like they can let their children play outside, they can go to work and feel safe, knowing that we do the right thing and we hold people accountable. So I've been honored and blessed to work the last year and a half as your prosecutor, and I would ask for your support going forward, because philosophically how we view each and every criminal case is this: we seek the truth. We then charge appropriately based on the law passed by your representatives in Indianapolis, Indiana. And then we hold all parties accountable. And what I always say by that is we look at the crime committed and we look at the law, and then we hold them accountable. And we craft it the best way we can to protect the community and to hold the person accountable. But we also hold ourselves accountable. We expect excellence in my office. We expect people to work hard and to truly love what they do. So, thank you. I love being your prosecutor, and I hope I have your support. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Danita Burks, and I'm running for re-election for the Floyd County Clerk's office. I've been married to Steve Burks for 35 years. We have 3 sons, Simeon, Stephen, and Seth, who are all graduates of the New Albany Floyd County school systems. In my first term as county clerk, we broke records while navigating through a worldwide pandemic and a presidential election with over 33,000 absentee ballots, in which I am proud to say our staff stepped up in a big way. The hard work put in produced the results for the election in a very timely manner, while other counties did not get results till the next day or even later than that. Voter integrity is a very high priority for our office. We have replaced and updated all of our election equipment and reduced the amount of voting sites for the taxpayers to save time and money. We have continued to invest in our future of our county by adding an iJuror program for jury duty, while jurors now will be able to answer their questionnaires online. There are only 5 other counties in Indiana who are using this wonderful program, and again, we are staying progressive while leading. It has been an honor to serve the people of Floyd County. There's always work to do and projects to take on. And I pledge to continue to see Floyd County be a leading county in this state. I would appreciate your vote. See you at the polls.
Hello, my name is Diana Topping, and I'm running to be your next Floyd County Auditor. I've been a resident of Floyd County for 25 years, and I truly care about this community and its members. My husband and I have 2 children, both of which attend New Albany Floyd County schools. I started my career as a public servant with the Floyd County Sheriff's Department in their Corrections Division. I was then given the opportunity to become the payroll clerk in the Auditor's office for the county. And most recently, I was appointed Chief Deputy Treasurer and serve under the current Treasurer, Steve Burks. I work daily with both the county finance and property tax sides of the Auditor's office, and I understand what is needed to serve as your Floyd County Auditor. I have firsthand knowledge of the county finance system and the reporting required by the state and federal governments on behalf of our county. I believe that with my drive, knowledge base, and management style, I can finish bringing our Floyd County Auditor's office into the 21st century in terms of processing and efficiency. I am asking for your vote in the upcoming primaries on May 3rd to see me through to the general elections in November. My thanks to New Albany High School and WNAS for allowing me this opportunity, and thank you for watching.
Hello, my name is Steve Bush, and I am running for Floyd County Sheriff. I would like to thank WNAS for this opportunity to speak directly to the people of Floyd County. Many of you know who I am because I have dedicated my life serving the people of Floyd County as both a New Albany police officer for 30 years and as a Floyd County Commissioner for 12 years. But for those that do not know me, I would like to introduce myself and my candidacy. I am guided by 4 principles: God, family, country, community, and I strongly believe in servant leadership. I've been married to my wife Dana for 29 years, and we have 2 adult children, who both have started families of their own now, and we are blessed beyond words to be new grandparents and excited for the next chapter of our lives. After graduating from Jefferson High School, I attended Indiana State University where I obtained a bachelor's degree in criminology. In 1991, I was hired by the New Albany Police Department and began my career as a police officer. Over my 30 years with NAPD, I have thoroughly enjoyed serving my community and it has allowed me to help people in their time of need. I have held many positions inside the department, from patrol officer to detective, commander overseeing the detective division, to field training officer, a member of the police command staff as major, and currently serving as a patrol shift commander. In 2004, I was elected as a Floyd County Commissioner and was re-elected in 2008 and 2012, serving a total of 12 years in that role. Out of the 12 years I served as president, 6 of those years. I am blessed that the people had put their confidence in me to serve as one of the executives for Floyd County government. I gained invaluable experience in how county government works, from the budgeting process to creating ordinances that affect our quality of life, and by implementing planning and zoning codes that allowed for responsible growth in our community. Representing the concerns of Floyd County citizens was a great honor for me, but I decided not to seek a 4th term as commissioner, so I could focus on my family as my kids were entering their final years of high school. I stayed active serving my community in different ways by volunteering in 4-H, church camps, and mentoring and coaching kids at Jefferson High School, Highland Hills Middle School, and Floyd Central High School in cross country and track. As sheriff, I will concentrate the efforts of the Floyd County Sheriff's Department on safety, security, and service to the community. I will do these in the following ways. Safety. I will continue the strong partnership and mutual trust that already exists between the Floyd County Sheriff's Department and our community. Those partnerships are critical to maintain public safety and effective policing. The Floyd County Sheriff's Department relies on the cooperation of our community members to provide information about crime in their neighborhoods. And Floyd County Sheriff's Department officers will continue to work with our community to devise solutions to crime and disorder problems. Security. I would develop competent leaders from inside the Floyd County Sheriff's Department through leadership and professional development training. I will empower those leaders to meet the current challenges facing law enforcement today. I will also employ a leadership succession plan throughout the department that prepares future leaders for future challenges. In service. Service is a vitally important measure to the success of the Sheriff's Department. Providing quality service means I am an effective sheriff. In order to accurately measure the service the department is providing, I plan to attend as many community board and association meetings as possible. By doing this, I will create a comprehensive feedback system so that I will know how well the Sheriff's Department is serving our community. I believe boards and associations such as homeowner associations, Interfaith Council, One Southern Indiana, and many more board associations will give me real-time feedback as to how our community and its stakeholders are being served. With that knowledge, I will make adjustments so our community gets the best service the department has to offer. With my 4 guiding principles of God, family, country, and community, I will also protect your constitutional rights and freedoms afforded to all citizens. My 30 years as a police officer and 12 years as a county commissioner have uniquely qualified me to be the next sheriff. I humbly ask for your vote on May 3rd to be the Republican nominee for sheriff. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Sam Sarkson, Republican candidate for Floyd County Sheriff. I would like to take this time to thank WNAS for this opportunity to speak to you and tell you about myself. I'm a lifelong resident of Floyd County. My wife and Kathy and I have been married 37 years. We have 2 grown sons, a daughter-in-law, and 2 granddaughters we thoroughly enjoy. Kathy and I attend and worship at Southeast Christian Church at the Indiana campus. I attended New Albany High School, Ball State University, Indiana University, and the Indiana State Police Academy. I've been in law enforcement 42 years, all serving with the Indiana State Police. My assignments have been patrol trooper, assigned to Floyd County, an Indiana State Police detective, also assigned to Floyd County, and an Indiana State Police crime scene investigator, covering Floyd County. In 2000, I was promoted to the District Investigative Commander at District 45, Chief of Detectives, which covers 5 counties, including Floyd County. I'm presently the Area Crime Scene Commander for the southeast part of the state that covers Floyd County and 15 other counties. Along with my accomplishments in command experience, I have several law enforcement certificates and awards, both at the state and federal level. I have worked within a budget as an administrator, and I'm a good steward of the taxpayers' money. I also have experience in dealing with personnel issues in a fair and just manner. I would like to talk to you about a few of my platforms if elected sheriff. As your sheriff, I pledge the safety of our citizens and our community that they have been accustomed to. Also, to uphold the United States Constitution as it should be. I have a number of plans and goals and programs to keep our county safe. I will also work with all of our law enforcement partners, local, state, federal, in accomplishing keeping our county safe. On illegal drugs, my administration will continue to be aggressive in enforcement on illegal drugs that lead to the majority of our criminal activity in our community. These drugs cause issues from shoplifting, burglary, robbery, also all violent crimes. All have a nexus to drug dealing. I will continue to have our specialized units assigned to apprehend and arrest drug dealers. I'm also in favor of providing drug and mental substance treatments for those who want to better their lives and become productive citizens in our community. I will also seek outside treatments for our inmates that are released. I know we can't jail our way out of this situation, but we also have to be having strong enforcement to handle this situation. On safety in our schools, I always have been and always will be a great supporter of our school resource officers. Our children are our greatest treasures, and our schools, institutions, and staffs all must be protected. I'll always work within our school systems to keep our schools safe. On school bus safety, I will also work with the schools to keep our children safe on the buses and keep our roads safe in our community. Community involvement, I want to involve our community with our sheriff's department. In doing this, we will have a sheriff's kids camp for our kids to get to better know our sheriff's department and their officers, and to know that they can count on them when they're in need. I also want to have a citizens academy for the good citizens of our county that want to come down and see what their sheriff's department works within and how they work, how their inner workings are. I will continue the sheriff's department's tip line, Facebook page, email contacts, and have community access to our sheriff's department. All these programs at no cost to the taxpayers. I believe the staff I've chosen, with Frank Loop as our chief, the fantastic law enforcement personnel, our corrections staff, dispatchers, and other support staff, we can continue to have a great sheriff's department. My campaign slogan is safety and security Floyd County deserves. These are not just words to me, but a creed that I have served our community with over my entire law enforcement career. Your families and you deserve to be safe in our community. I'm not a politician. I'm a professional law enforcement officer and will continue to serve our community. I have always and always will treat people the way I'd want to be treated in their situations. If you have any questions, I'm always available, and you can contact me at my email at sarf, S-A-R-F-O-R, sheriff@gmail.com, or my Facebook page. I would humbly ask your consideration and support during this primary election. Please vote for Sam Sarkison for Floyd County Sheriff. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Hello, friends and neighbors, Floyd County. My name is Darrell Mills. I'm the former Floyd County Sheriff, and I'm seeking to be your sheriff again in 2023. I was honored to be selected as Indiana Sheriff of the Year in 2011 by the Indiana Sheriff's Association. Some of my past accomplishments include adapting an electronic system to streamline services, make renovations in the Floyd County Jail, as well as updating our emergency 911 dispatch center with new equipment for better response times for fire, medical, and police services. I was able to secure new technology for our patrol division including in-car cameras for the patrol cars as well as computers. These updates have allowed quicker response times for emergency services, which is critical in our community. I have over 40 years of experience in law enforcement, which includes many years with the Floyd County Sheriff's Department, the Floyd County Prosecutor's Office, and the U.S. Marshals Services. I'm very passionate about staying involved in our community. From 2011 to 2014, I was appointed by Governor Mitch Daniels to the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy Training Board of Trustees. I've also served on Floyd Memorial Hospital's Board of Trustees, and I'm currently serving as a member of the Board of Trustees at the New Chapel Fire Department. Now that I've given you some background in my past, I'd like to talk about my vision for the future of Floyd County. If elected, my plan is to implement additional training for the Patrol Division, the detectives, and the correctional officers to ensure that they have a proper understanding of the changing times in law enforcement so they can meet the needs of our community. Additionally, I would like to create a process to move mentally ill and drug-addicted inmates that are nonviolent from the jail and into other treatment facilities. This will free bed space to house those who do break the laws and should be incarcerated, while ultimately saving tax dollars. Another initiative I feel is extremely important would be to issue body cameras for each patrol officer and correctional officer to further protect them and the citizens they serve. I plan to develop a gang task force that will work in conjunction with other agencies at the federal, state, and local levels. With this, I will add 2 K-9 units to the Floyd County Sheriff's Department for tracking and for drug detection on our streets and in the jail. Lastly, I will ensure that each Floyd County school has a school resource officer to protect our children and develop a trusting relationship with law enforcement. To further educate our children, I plan to provide an opportunity for Floyd County students to attend a summer youth camp in which they will be given a chance to build character and spar leadership skills as well as citizenship for their future. While these initiatives only touch on the surface of everything I wish to accomplish, if elected your Floyd County Sheriff, I hope this will give you a glimpse of my vision, what I stand for, and how dearly I hold this community in my heart. I would like to wrap up by thanking the students and staff of New Albany High School and WNAS for allowing me this platform to share my goals for the Sheriff's Department, and I hope you will vote Mills for Sheriff in 2022. God bless you and your family, and thank you.
Hello, I'm Al Knable, and I'm running for Floyd County Commissioner District 1. I'm a 5th-generation native of Floyd County, born and raised in New Albany, but I spent plenty of weekends driving fence post and helping with livestock on my Uncle Junie's farm out in Edwardsville. Time that taught me a deep appreciation for the hard work our local farmers do day in and day out. My wife of over 25 years, Jessica, and I both attended New Albany Floyd County Public Schools, both New Albany High School grads, in fact, both WNAS alumni, and I want to thank the crew here at WNAS and Mr. Brian Sullivan for putting on the candidate interviews as they have done years past. It's always proven very helpful. Our 4 children, Claire, Harrison, Elias, and Nolan, have all passed through the halls of our public schools on their way to graduation from New Albany High School as well. After high school, I attended Purdue University. I graduated in 1988 and then went on to IU Medical School, graduating in 1992, performing a residency in dermatology that completed in 1996 before active duty in the United States Air Force from 1996 to 2000. In 2004, after nearly 20 years away from New Albany, Floyd County, my wife and I chose to return here to live and raise our family because we love this community more than any other that we have ever known. To put it simply, New Albany, Floyd County is home. I have received so much help and support from the people of New Albany, Floyd County over the years that I have tried to return that kindness in several ways. I have volunteered for numerous organizations, including the Salvation Army, the New Albany Floyd County Education Foundation, Rauch Industries, Hospice, and the Purdue Extension Office. I've also stayed involved by writing as a guest columnist for the New Albany Tribune and also hosting the locally based podcast Get Action. In 2015, I was elected at large to the New Albany City Council and was reelected in 2019. In over 6 years of service in that capacity, I have helped enact tougher noise and litter laws. I have brought common sense to bear on zoning and rental reforms. I've brought my experience as a business owner to the table to help other businesses start, survive, and thrive in New Albany. I've supported budgets funding mile after mile of road paving, sidewalk repair, and park expansion, and perhaps most important of late, I helped ensure minimal total closure time of the Sherman-Minton Bridge during ongoing repairs. But above all, I have built a track record of dependability, accessibility, and transparency. Simply put, I have remained accountable to the people rather than the government, and I will continue to do so as Floyd County Commissioner. As your Commissioner, I will articulate and execute a vision of what Floyd County can be, focusing on infrastructure and workforce needs. It is time for us to shake off the anxiety, the excuses, the frustration, and the stagnation brought upon us by the COVID pandemic and move forward. It's time for us to roll up our sleeves and get to work. It's time to fix our crumbling roads and deteriorating bridges. It's time to upgrade and maximize utilization of our parks. It's time to partner with other state agencies to make broadband available to every home in Floyd County. It's time to recruit and secure tenants for the Nova Industrial Technology Park. It's beyond time for us to recognize and cultivate our agricultural heritage and treat our farming families fairly as we continue to explore thoughtful development in our county. It's time to work with our school systems to develop more educational opportunities for our children with an emphasis on vocational and STEM curricula so that they are ready to compete in an ever-changing professional world. It's time we make a decision as to how we will utilize the taxpayers' properties at the Pine View Center, the former City County building, and the old Poor Farm at Community Park to best serve the people of Floyd County for the next 100 years and beyond. And it's time for us to solve the growing traffic backups plaguing our commuters by exploring better options for public transportation, possible new cut-through roads, and even start thinking about the possibility of a new West End bridge. It's time to think outside of the box. It's time for Floyd County to do big things. In order to get all this done, we'll need to work together. We'll need to communicate better person to person, elected official to elected official, and county to city and city to county. So it's also time to rebuild a relationship between our county and city governments so that we can eliminate wasteful, redundant spending and work together towards our common community goals. Before closing, I need you to know a few more things. Number one, if you are an officer of the law, a fireman, a first responder of any sort, carrying out your duties lawfully and respectfully, I will have your back. Secondly, if you are a county employee, working your hardest to serve the taxpayer, I will listen to your concerns and I will go to bat for you to make sure that you have the resources you need to do your job well. And third, if you are a taxpayer, I will answer your calls, emails, texts, and letters. I will give them all careful consideration and will work hard to resolve your concerns, always keeping in mind that there are no Republican nor Democrat bridges, there are no partisan potholes, only work that needs to be done for all of us who call Floyd County home. I'll leave you with this. A wise man once said, if you want something done, ask a busy person to do it. I love Floyd County, and I have the experience and the energy to make it a better place for all of us to call home. Please put me to work for you. Thank you for listening.
Hi, my name is Chuck Simons. I'm asking for your support and vote in the Democratic primary on May the 3rd of 2022. I'm seeking the office of Floyd County Commissioner.
I have been, and we have been, a lifelong Democrat and have worked for the Floyd County Democratic Party for over 35 years. My wife and Kathy and I have been married for 53 years. We have 3 children and 2 grandchildren, and all of them have graduated from Floyd County schools. 3 of them have went on to higher education, and the 4th one is just starting his venture. He just graduated last year. A bit about me. After high school, I enlisted in the U.S. Army for 3 years. I spent one of those years with the 173rd Airborne Brigade in South Vietnam. After discharge from the service, from '68 to 2012, we contracted with individuals, corporations, cities, and counties to design and install mass appraisal systems. But we also served as director of the New Albany Street Department for 2 years. And this involved working with the mayor and the council. I'm retired now, but I'm looking for a job. County Commissioner, thank you. A few accolades. We have also been honored with a designation and distinction by the governor of the state of Indiana as a Distinguished Hoosier Award in June of 2012. My fellow brothers and sisters of veterans of foreign wars also elected me their state commander in June of 2011. Those are probably 2 of my most important accomplishments other than the family. And that's all I have as far as the political part of it is, but I have something I'd like to get into about registering to vote. We have a little time left. Voting is as important as anything that we will ever do in this country. Voting is how we get rid of the bad and put in the good. And we have to vote, and we have to listen to the people, listen to what they do, not what they say. But the main thing is, if you will be 17 years old, 18 years old before or on November the 3rd of this year, you are entitled and you have earned the right to vote in this election, primary and general, but you must register. All I can say about that is we've got 98,000 people, roughly, from the 2020 census in this county, and we only have 62,000 registered voters. If we're going to continue to put good people and honest people into the offices of this county and of this state and of this country, then we need more people involved, and we need to look at what they're doing and not what they're saying. And what I'm doing right now is asking for your vote, and please, please, if you know somebody's not registered to vote, show them how. If you're registered, show them how to do it. If you're not registered and you want to get registered, you can contact the county clerk's office. I'm sure you have offices in the schools here that will show you how to do it and even help you do it. If not, I'll help you do it. Just call me or email me or Facebook me. One of the 2. One of the 3, I'm sorry. Other than that, I think that's about all we have to say. Good luck and Godspeed and God bless.
Hello, my name is Tony Turan, and I'm currently the Floyd County Councilman representing District 1. I would like to thank WNAS and the student media team for this opportunity to address you. Last July, our community suffered a tremendous loss in the passing of Floyd County Councilman Tom Pickett. Tom served District 1 for 16 years. I've had the distinct pleasure of serving out his unexpired term. I am a lifelong resident of Floyd County. I attended New Albany Floyd County Public Schools and am a graduate of New Albany High School. I attended Indiana University Southeast and Simmons Bible College. I am also a graduate of Leadership Southern Indiana. I currently serve as the pastor of Galatian Missionary Baptist Church and have done so for the last 25 years. I'm president of the New Albany Police Merit Commission. I serve as a member of the Lifespan Resources Board of Directors, Floyd County 4-H Corporation Board of Directors, and Southern Indiana Works Board of Directors. It is important that our representatives have a deep appreciation for public service and a passion for this community. My family has instilled this belief in me through examples like my grandfather, father, and brother, all who have served as public servants of this community as New Albany firemen. It's a tradition that started in 1952, has lasted 3 generations, and is still going on to this day. I am excited about this new area of public service for myself, and I have decided to seek a full term as your county councilman. The county council has the ultimate decision-making power regarding fiscal affairs. I will be fiscally responsible to the citizens of our community while making Floyd County a place where people want to live, work, and raise a family. As a manager, former county employee, and a department head, I recognize the importance of our local government offices. My knowledge of government operations, county budgeting, and related public processes allows me to make informed, smart investments in and for our community, and also guides me when making tough decisions. Since assuming office, I have worked diligently to support critical public safety services such as our law enforcement, emergency first responders, and supported the staff of the Floyd County Health Department who have worked faithfully to keep our community safe during the COVID-19 pandemic. Giving them the financial resources that they needed ensured that the residents of Floyd County had access to public health resources such as testing facilities and vaccination sites. I was one of 5 council members that voted to approve the 2022 annual budget, meeting our state-mandated schedule for certification and avoiding penalties. This budget provides additional support for elected officials and county agents to do their jobs efficiently and effectively, and most importantly, works to retain our skilled workforce with competitive compensation. Moving forward, I will continue to endorse and support the development of programs to address drug abuse, mental health, and provide for veteran services such as Veterans Court and the Veterans Service Office. I will support our county parks programs so that they can better serve our community and foster the development of our youth. I will continue to take seriously my responsibility to retain and secure the best qualified personnel for public positions. Too often, communities like ours lose good employees because they didn't value the service they offered. Given the education and training that goes into developing police officers, first responders, court staff, highway personnel, and clerical employees, it's critical that we compensate them fairly for their work and give them the tools to do their jobs in a safe, healthy work environment. I also believe that our county is at a critical juncture regarding public facilities like the Floyd County Courthouse, the youth shelter, and the Health Department. I will work with other county leaders to develop a plan to consolidate and renew these assets, as well as invest in our community infrastructure, our roads and bridges, while being mindful of the costs placed on taxpayers. I would also like to welcome the residents of Franklin Township and New Albany 33 to the 1st District. These 2 precincts have been redistricted into the 1st District and will join the downtown center portion of New Albany to make up the new district. Please rest assured that whether urban or rural, your needs remain important to me, and I will represent you with your best interest in mind. Together, we can make the best decisions that will benefit not only our county today, but serve for future generations. I believe in our community, in the good that we can accomplish when we work together, and I'm excited to continue to serve my fellow citizens as your voice on the County Council. I humbly ask for your vote so that I can continue to serve this community that I am proud to call my home. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jim Freiberger. I'm running for County Council District 2 and the Republican ticket this upcoming election. I've been a resident of Floyd Knobs for the past 48 years, as well as a member of District 2 for the past 57 years. I've been married for 38 years to my wife Cheryl. We have 3 children. Brittany Rohr, her husband Jake. They have 2 children, Ollie and Liam. My daughter Courtney Bardock, her husband Evan, and my son Jamie Freiberger and his wife Jordan. I've been a member of St. Mary's of Knobs Parish for the past 48 years and been very active within serving within my parish. My wife Cheryl and I have served as sponsor couples for engaged couples for the past 25 years in preparation for marriage. I have served in the Finance Commission for the past 12 years, as well as the Parish Council, School Board Commission, and I was also on the Formation Committee that helped start our Catholic school at St. Mary's. I've been involved in other community services as well. I've been a member of the Knights of Columbus for the past 20 years. I was one of the original founders of the Tri-Parish St. Vincent de Paul Council, serving the local community. I have co-chaired United Way campaign for small businesses for 2 years. I have worked on multiple campaigns for Republican Party members, including the Mike Pence running for governor for his first race. I have served as part of a team to serve food to the homeless at St. Vincent de Paul shelter in downtown Louisville. And I've coached numerous sports for both boys and girls, both at grade school, junior high, and travel levels for over 12 years. I have over 38 years of various finance and business management experience that I can bring to the County Council. These are some skills that would be an asset working with the various council government budgets and making financial decisions that will impact the county. I have been employed with the Franciscan Friars located at Mount St. Francis for the past 14 years. I have 8 years of experience with financial reporting for various programs and grants to the state government. My grant writing experience will further benefit the county in trying to seek out additional government assistance or partnerships in many projects that would benefit our community, especially concerning providing high-speed broadband and internet service. There are important issues in District 2 that I will strive to push for and support. I want to support programs and offices that will improve safety to the members of our community. If elected to the council, I will be the swing vote in providing additional service to our district that have been voted down by the current council. I will push to add additional EM service to our district to reduce response times to our rural areas especially. I will support our Lafayette Fire Department, especially concerning the recent request to refurbish 2 of the ambulances that would serve the Lafayette Township and Greenville as well. I'll also push to support law enforcement for our county. We need to support the hardworking employees protecting us by providing fair and competitive wages to keep and recruit committed individuals to protect our community. I want to push for additional investments to expanding and improving broadband high-speed internet services to our residents. Our council currently has $9 million in surplus funds in various accounts available. I would like to put part of these funds that could be used to help support the infrastructure for this expansion. I'm asking for your support and vote this upcoming May election. Thank you.
Hello, Floyd County. I'm Adam Roberts, your 2nd District County Councilman. I've spent my entire life in Floyd County. I'm married to Laurie Roberts. We've been married 23 years, and we have 3 children, and we currently live in Floyd's Knobs. I'm very proud of my accomplishments in my first term. I didn't support any new taxes or tax increases, and I'm proud to say that Floyd County is currently the 5th lowest property tax county in the state of Indiana. The last 3 years we have had budget surpluses. In 2021, our surplus was over $4 million, and I expect a surplus for 2022. We've also paved a record number of roads, and we've expanded broadband into the county where they've struggled with connectivity. Most of this was done with state grant matches. We also did a large jail renovation. This was a great project for Floyd County. We basically have a brand new jail from it. The good news is we paid cash for it. No new debt. I've also secured $125 million in the Legacy Foundation and the Community Foundation. These foundations help the people of Floyd County and improve their quality of life by providing grants to organizations and nonprofits. We were also able to enhance our EMS service from 2 ambulances to 3. All in all, we're in great financial shape, and we're in a good position moving into the future. In my next term, one thing I would like to do is continue the fiscal responsibility, continue with low taxes and low tax rates. I'd like to look at long-term revenue planning that's sustainable and realistic. I would also like to improve our government transparency. This seems to be a problem at all levels, but here locally, I'd like to provide a conduit or a portal for the citizens of this community to understand every meeting that takes place, every agenda, any documents that were shared, or any videos. We need full transparency in this community. I'd also like to continue upgrading all our infrastructure. Not only the roads and the bridges that we've done, but we've also continued to expand the broadband, and I would also look at doing the sewer and water upgrades using the American Recovery Plan funding from the federal government. You're going to hear a lot in the next few months and years regarding the remodel of the county building, as well as potentially building a new building on Grantline Road. We have to pay attention to this, as the county council is the fiscal body for the county. We need to be intimately involved in these details and try to understand how we will fund these projects. I've worked hard as your councilman, and I will continue to work hard for you. I take pride in serving you, and I take pride in this community. I make the best decisions on your behalf, and those are not always the easy decisions. And they're definitely not the most popular decisions. But I always put the taxpayer first. I am dedicated to this community and to the people of this community. I am focused on what it takes to move Floyd County forward. And I'm a proven fiscal conservative. And my voting record will prove that. Thank you for your time, and I'd appreciate your support in the primary and the general election.
Boy, I'm sure I'm glad I had this ladder here to help me put that light bulb in. It helped me reach something I couldn't get to otherwise. Hi, my name is Brian Brewer. I'm running for Floyd County Council District 3. And I want to thank WNAS, first of all, for allowing us candidates to come in here and talk to you and get our information out to you. District 3 changed just recently. Back in December, the county commissioners changed the district a little bit, moved a couple precincts around. So if you're not sure if you're still in District 3, you can go to the Floyd County government website and you can see the map there, or you can call the county clerk's office, or you could give me a call and I'll show you my number in a little bit. My wife and I were born and raised in New Albany. Her name used to be Tammy O'Rear years ago, and her name is now Tamela Brewer. We've been married 41 years, and like I said, we grew up here, and we have 2 children and 4 grandchildren that all live in New Albany or Floyd County. The reason I'm running for this office is because I want Floyd County to be a place for them to be able to prosper and live their lives out in a good environment. I believe we all have these hopes for our families. When we graduated from Ball State University in Muncie, we returned home to New Albany, and I was hired to teach industrial technology in the New Albany-Floyd County school system. Sadly, that year was a year that they had budget problems, and myself and 50 other teachers were laid off at the end of that year. Fortunately, though, I was hired by North Harrison, and I continued teaching industrial technology there for 13 more years. After that, I had earned my science degree, and I came back into New Albany-Floyd County Schools for the final 23 years of my teaching career. Since retiring in 2018, I have continued to be active in several organizations. One of the organizations is the Lions Club. The New Albany Lions Club, I'm an active member and past president. Fallsview, Ohio. Fallsview, Ohio, I teach people about the unique history and geology of the Fallsview, Ohio in our region. I also volunteer with NASA, believe it or not, through their Solar System Ambassador Program, where I teach young people about our space programs and astronomy. My wife and I also have worked with several groups around our state to help promote a cleaner environment for our people, a healthier environment for people in Indiana. I believe the role of government should be more like a ladder than a pothole. County government should help people climb higher to reach their goals, not slow them down or stop them short of reaching those goals. The rungs of this ladder are several. Administering justice and public safety services. And justice would be considered our judicial system, and the public safety would be our sheriff and jails. Investing in critical human services, such as our health care and the health department in Floyd County, and Blue River Industries are a couple. To also bring jobs to our community that pay higher wages and have more job opportunities for our citizens. For connecting to the marketplace, several ways. One is through broadband, which we're trying to get out throughout the county. The other way is through our roads and bridges, keeping those running, keeping those operable for people to be able to drive safely from one place to another and get everywhere on time. All these are steps to economic stability, which is what we all want to have in these times of uncertainty in our world. I believe anyone who lives, works, or owns a business in Floyd County is invested in our county, has a vested interest in getting a good return on their investment, which is their tax dollars. The way I would like to give you back your tax dollars is through services. First of all, we want to balance our budget. We want to keep our taxes low. We want to improve services to the public. We want to pay our bills on time. And we always want to give support to all of our employees. In closing, recent events in the world have been causing uncertainty in the markets and additional anxiety in our lives. Our local government can help bring stability when it makes sound, data-driven decisions that move us forward to a sustainable future. I pray for peace for Ukraine and for a democratic Ukraine. I also pray for America, for us to focus on what we can do together to make that more perfect union. I'm asking for your vote. I am a Democrat running for District 3 of the Floyd County Council. If you want to contact me, I have a Facebook and Instagram page. It's BB Works For Me. That means I would work for you, and I understand that. And my phone number is here also. My uncle, when I worked for him in a grocery store in District 3 many years ago, was a strong Republican. And him and I would go round and round and round in conversations about how we thought things should be done in our community. Even as a 15-year-old doing that, I enjoyed that debate with him. He was a wonderful man. His name was Jim Brewer. And like I said, he was a Republican. And I am a Democrat. And the best thing I got from my graduation was he gave me a picture of me standing at the counter in that store, and it had the note on it that said, "I know there are good Democrats out there because I know you're one." And so I hope that we can work together as Democrats and Republicans in our county council to get things done for our community. I wouldn't be running for this office if I didn't think we could do that. So if you find it that you want to do that, then and support me, that would be great. Thank you for your time.
Good afternoon. My name is Denise Conkle, and I am running for re-election to County Council in the 4th District. I'm very happy to be with you this afternoon to discuss my re-election. It is an exciting time in Floyd County. The county is growing at almost 1% a year. The growth is occurring because we have created a community that is attractive to others, from the people to the schools to the safety and security of our community to the low tax rates. We are the 5th lowest property tax rate in the state. But along with all this growth comes new challenges and responsibilities. This afternoon, I'd like to talk to you about 4 things. What you can expect to me if I'm re-elected to the council, what the duties and the responsibilities of the county council are, a little bit about myself and my accomplishments, and what is left to do. First, what you can expect from me. Respect above all. I believe respecting all opinions and listening to all sides will lead us to the right decisions for Floyd County in the future. Data-driven decisions. My past 4 years on the council have demonstrated that the use of data-driven decisions is a key component of my leadership style. Making the best decisions for Floyd County. Over my tenure on the county council, I have strived to create a place where my kids and my grandchildren would be proud to live. I assure you that all of my decisions are made with the best interest of the county. Second, I want to talk with you about the duties and the responsibilities of the council. The duties and the responsibilities of the council are to manage your tax dollars. We budget and appropriate money for the entire county. I do not take this responsibility lightly. These are your tax dollars and should be spent wisely. It takes a certain level of financial background to understand all the moving parts of local government finance. Third, a little bit about myself and my accomplishments. I have lived in Floyd County my entire life. I have 2 children and 2 grandchildren. I am retired from British American Tobacco, where I held various budgeting and forecasting positions over a 38-year career. It is this experience that I believe gives me the background to carry out the duties and the responsibilities of the county council with knowledge and professionalism. Now a little bit about my accomplishments during my time on the council. I was instrumental in establishing the Floyd County Legacy Foundation. I worked closely with Ron Grooms and Ed Clare to write new legislation that allowed us to establish our own foundation. This had never been done before in the state of Indiana. We currently have $30 million in this foundation and distribute over $500,000 annually to grant participants to things such as parks and youth shelter. I have driven the development of a 5-year plan, which allows us to ensure that decisions that we are making today can be sustained into the future. We have hired a financial consultant to advise us on large financial decisions. I have supported the expansion of broadband in the county by leveraging $750,000 toward a $3 million grant. But there is much more to do on this front, and I will be ready to financially support this effort once a plan has been fully developed. I believe every person in Floyd County needs to have access to high-speed internet service. I have supported park improvements by allocating budget dollars to provide an additional $200,000 annually to the capital budget of the parks, and also by increasing the operating budget of the Parks Department. And fourth, what lies ahead? As I mentioned above, first and foremost, the continued expansion of broadband. This is a basic household need which I commit to finding dollars to pay for. The region has recently been granted $50 million through the Regional Development Authority. And while the council does not control these dollars, I am committed to working closely with the RDA to secure funding for broadband expansion. Second, the financing of and renovation of the city-county building is another big decision. We have failing infrastructure that needs to be attended to. My commitment to you is to seek out public input and to look for innovative ways to finance this endeavor. And third, to continue to push for the use of technology in the county to provide more efficient and effective services to the taxpayers. In closing, these are your tax dollars. Do your homework. Your vote matters and determines how these dollars will be spent. These are exciting times in Floyd County, and the decisions made today will determine what Floyd County looks like in the future. I humbly ask for your vote to continue to serve Floyd County for the next 4 years. God bless you and your family.
Hi, my name is Dee Roney. I'm the Georgetown Township Trustee. I've served our community for going on 4 years, and I'll be running for a re-election as your trustee. I'm a licensed general contractor. I've been married for 25 years and in business 24 years. And what I'd primarily like to highlight today is what the trustee offers the community, and to try and get the message out there as far as what the trustee provides for the community. So the things I'd like to highlight are the fact that if you find yourself in the circumstance where you're short on bills, where you can't afford the electric or your gas or whatever the utilities, or you may maybe not be able to make rent, or whatever circumstance you find yourself in, that resource is out there available to you in the trustee's office. Just a phone call away. One thing that most folks don't know that trustees provide is insulin, for example. I know there's a lot of folks, I've had family with diabetes, and that's a valuable resource that is really being untapped because folks don't know it's there. So, per Indiana code, trustees are required to provide insulin to those in the community that are in need. So I'd like for folks to just do their homework, find out who their trustee is, and make that phone call, and make sure that, and even if you're not in that position, maybe there's some capacity you could help, and trustee could guide you down that path as well. So I appreciate your vote here in May and November, and thank you for your time.
Hello and welcome. I'm David Brewer, your New Albany Township trustee. I was elected to office in 2018 and started serving January of 2019. We've had some really interesting things take place over that time. It's been a blessing. We've been able to impact so many people in a positive way. I want to pose a question to you. What would you do if you were put in a position that you couldn't maybe pay your mortgage or pay your maybe your rental payment, your electric payment? You came home, your electricity was off. Maybe you're headed to an eviction hearing, not knowing if you would have a place to live when you came home or got out of that hearing. And the reason I pose that question to you is that those are things that we deal with on a weekly basis, sometimes on a daily basis. Let me add something else to that. What would you do in that scenario if you had a mental disability or a physical disability and you couldn't just go out and maybe find a second job or even a first job because of what you had going on? Or maybe you did have a job and something catastrophic happened, like the things we were dealing with COVID, and people that were trying to get help and couldn't, that were sent home from work for whatever reason. Thankfully, the trustee's office was there. The importance of what we do, it was one of those kind of things that grabbed your attention to the point where you saw the impact of people that literally were at a loss for what they were going to do next. Maybe they had a child at home trying to learn from I guess remotely, I guess would be the best way to put it, but through the internet and through their computer, and they don't have electric on. You come home and there's no electric, or maybe the car broke down. I deal with a lot of single mothers out there that are struggling, just trying to survive from day to day, trying to help make their children's life a better and safer place for them, to give them a better shot at their future. As kind of like I look at kind of maybe the way my mom was when I was growing up. But it's one of those things where I don't know what they would have done without the Township Trustee's office, and it showed the value of what we do. We've got some really cool things going on. We'll be relocating to a new space. Currently, we're in a 500 square foot office space at the City County building, which is also known as the courthouse. It's not a very accessible place. It's difficult sometimes to even park and get out of there if anybody's ever been down to do any business there. We'll be relocating to Colonial Manor Shopping Center. It's where the old Kroger used to be on Charlestown Road. We've got a new space that's been renovated, and we're going to open a new financial educational center along with a job placement search center that's going to allow us to be able to help work with people, to help give them opportunities and present them with those opportunities, along with our assistance that we're able to help provide for those that are in desperate crisis need. And so I'm really proud of that opportunity we have in front of us to be able to make a difference for people, not just from a financial standpoint and that short-term standpoint, but also for that long-term investment in our people. It's one of those deals too where you're trying to figure out what works and what doesn't. And I know when you're sitting in office space with 3 people working and you're in 500 square feet that's all open, you can't have those conversations that you need to have with people. You can't have private conversations that need to be had. Sometimes people need to be in an environment too that they can open up and talk to you to let you know what's going on so that you can find a way to best serve them. This space is going to allow us to do that. Thankfully, New Albany's Mayor Jeff Gahan has opened up some opportunities through our ARP funds to be able to help us with some of the funding of the construction of the educational room that we're going to have in that office space, and also some of the ability then from that funding to help those that have been struggling with COVID and some of the effects of that and the lasting effects that we're still dealing with on it. Hopefully we're on the tail end of it for now, but we still have the financial effects that we're all dealing with. And with inflation going up, you add in the added cost for people that are on fixed income. Any type of crisis that takes place, all of a sudden, what bill's not going to be paid that month? That's a decision that people are having to make. Luckily for us, the Township Trustee here in New Albany gives the office that I'm lucky to serve, it gives us the opportunity then to help people. So I'm looking forward to that move. We're hoping to that's going to happen here within the next 30 to 60 days. And then also, one of the cool things we're doing is when I took over, we had about 7 cemeteries that we oversee. They were really bad repair. The things that were taking place, I couldn't imagine some of the broken tombstones and headstones or whatever that had fallen disrepair, that nothing had been done to date for a long time, I would imagine. So we have started a project working with our board to help with the renovation process for our cemeteries, to get some signage up, some historical signage as well, some information for people when they do see the cemetery that they can read what's going on, what's happening with it, and eventually, I'd like to hopefully at some point, maybe once we get some of those things done, to start possibly a tour of historic cemeteries that we have here in the township, because it's a neat opportunity to learn about our history of our people from New Albany. A history that a lot of people don't know about, from even veterans that have fought from every war, from the Revolutionary War through Vietnam. I have some people there from Korea, World War II, World War I, that are buried in some of our cemeteries. So it's really a neat opportunity for us to honor those that have come before us. And I'm really looking forward to that, and thank our board for that. And moving into to the next opportunity we have is in 2022 here. I will be involved in the general election. No primary. Luckily, no one was running against me in the primary. So this spring I will not be on the ballot box, but come November, the general election I will. And I would ask that you would support us and continue to support us in what we're doing and our endeavors to help people first, and also be able to continue some of the projects that we've started and have implemented, and look forward to the future of making New Albany a great place to live, and helping those that sometimes out there, unfortunately, do get left behind or fall through the cracks or can't always just get to the next place for help. And so we've created an opportunity now for people to become a better equipped, and also a resource center, a place that people actually get more information, spend more time to be able to help, not just from financial, as I stated earlier, but also from that long-term investment in those people themselves and maybe what their future holds, to be able to give them those opportunities that they deserve or were unaware of. And so anyway, I'd just like to thank you and appreciate your time. We're here at New Albany High School today in the WNAS radio and TV room. So it's kind of near and dear to me. I'm very thankful for that. I graduated from here, got to play basketball and coach here at New Albany, and it's some of the best times of my life. So it's fitting that we're here today, and just want to thank everybody and thank you for this opportunity. Thank you.
My name is Steve Bonifer. I'm a candidate for the New Albany Township Advisory Board. I want to thank Brian Sullivan, Cheryl Stuber, and the entire WNAS staff for affording me this opportunity to speak with you today. I'm a lifelong resident of New Albany Township. I've been married to my wife, Linda, for 49 years. We have 3 adult children, Zach, Thad, and Sarah, and our beautiful granddaughter, Evelyn. I retired from my teaching position here at New Albany High School last spring, and I still coach the girls' swim team. I've also served as secondary vice president of the Floyd County Education Association and have served on numerous bargaining teams representing the interests of teachers in Floyd County. I have also served on the New Albany Floyd County Building Authority as a board member and a trustee. The Township Board is part of a team working with the Trustee's Office at the grassroots level to help improve quality of life by providing temporary emergency assistance to residents so they can reestablish their footing in society, while at the same time being good stewards of taxpayers' dollars. The pandemic has obviously increased need in a number of areas. Government has provided some additional monies through the American Rescue Plan, but we need to bring in as many local, state, and federal dollars as possible to the local community. The Trustee's Office is also responsible for 7 cemeteries in the township. 1 is public, the rest are on private property. One of these is Freedom Land Cemetery on Paoli Pike, which is of great historical significance. I would like to see efforts continue to secure funding, gain right-of-way, design and complete the work to make it accessible to the local community. Township government is one of the entities closest to the people. I look forward to working with Township Trustee David Brewer and his staff to continue the excellent and responsible service that they provide to the citizens of New Albany Township. I'm asking for your vote. I am Steve Bonifer, running for New Albany Township Board. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rick Cochran, and I'm asking to be re-elected to the New Albany Township Board. I'm presently the president of the Township Board. A lot of people ask me, what are your duties of the Township Board? Briefly, the board oversees the budget of the Township Trustee. Once the budget is approved, it must be certified by the Township Board, then forwarded to the State Board of Accounts. This budget is monitored by monthly meetings and, if necessary, adjusted by the board to fit the needs of the trustee. It can also serve as an advisory position to the trustee, thus the old title called Trustee Advisory Board. In Floyd County, there are 5 different townships, thus 5 trustees, and each having their 3 board members in each township. Some townships have emergency services which is fire department and or ambulance services. All township trustees oversee maintenance of cemeteries, poor relief, some burials, or some cremations if it qualifies. For those of you that don't know me, I am a native of New Albany. I went to New Albany High School. I have a BS degree at Ball State University. I went to Purdue University at IUS with the postgraduate studies. I am a certified plant engineer for Bruce Fox Company here in New Albany for 34 years with the present title of Vice President of Engineering Services. I have sat on many boards in the past, such as the Economic Development Board for the surrounding 5 counties when I was first deputy at Floyd County Surveyor's Office. I sat on a special task force by the Governor's Office to stop the brain drain, which encouraged college students, once graduated, to stay in the state of Indiana. I was a Purdue University Advisory Board member for 3 years at West Lafayette University and 5 years here at New Albany Purdue programs. I am a member of Holy Family Parish. I'm a past president of the Floyd County Men's Democratic Club. I'm a member of the 40&8 Club, which is a division of the American Legion here in New Albany. I'm married to Mary Beth Cochran. We have 4 children, Megan, Molly, Maria, and Melinda. We are blessed at this time with 6 grandchildren. I want to thank New Albany High School and WNAS for sponsoring this event. I appreciate your vote for me, Rick Cochran, for New Albany Township Board, and thank you for your time.